Today in the show, we're going to continue talking about the Marvel Civil War. If you didn't know that this event threatened more than just American superheroes, then this show is for you. Back with the main hero conflict, things are insane. Registered heroes would be going about trying to find unregistered heroes and trying to arrest them or force them to register, all while looking for the Secret Avengers. The Secret Avengers, meanwhile, were being protected by Nick Fury from S.H.I.E.L.D., and they would go about going after villains, actually doing their job, and protecting anti-registration heroes from registration. Ben Grimm, Thing from the Fantastic Four, was eventually just sick of this whole situation. He thought it was dumb. He was against registration, but he didn't want to act against his country. So he decided the best thing for him to do would just be to leave the country. So I just want you to take note of something here. You have Mr. Fantastic of the Fantastic Four at the top of the Registration Act. He is helping lead the whole thing. Now you have Thing of the Fantastic Four wanting nothing to do with the country that brought about the Registration Act, and now he's leaving for Paris. Now on to one of my favorite storylines of the Civil War. We're in LA and we have the Runaways, and they are totally unaware of everything that's going on, and they stop the Flag Smasher in public. So S.H.I.E.L.D. start to go after them. The Young Avengers see this on live TV, and Captain America actually turns around to them and is like, do not go after the Runaways. Listen to what I say. Don't go after the Runaways. So the Young Avengers go after the Runaways by stealing a Quinjet, and the two teams begin to fight. But then both teams are attacked by Nova, who has been sent to take both teams down, and he ends up breaking Zavin's neck and capturing Carolina, Wiccan, and Hulkling. So both teams have to work together to break into the cube, free Nova of his mind control, and rescue their teammates, and they do exactly this. After this, the Runaways continue to stay neutral towards the whole thing, but the Young Avengers continue to be against the Registration Act. This is part of the Civil War that I recommend everyone read because it's a prime example of part of an event that works as its own story. It's really good. Eventually, the Secret Avengers fell into an ambush set by the pro-registration forces, and the pro-registration forces released Project Lightning Thor. This Thor would eventually encounter Bill Foster in a giant fight and kill him. This was the first major death in the Civil War. This caused everyone on both sides to take a good, long, hard look at exactly what was going on. And Stature and Nighthawk would both go and register. But this would cause Johnny and Sue Storm to hate the act with a passion, and they would go over to the side of anti-registration, thus dividing the Fantastic Four in three ways. Spider-Man would eventually realize that this 42 prison that had been created was in the negative zone, so it sucked people's life energy away. He also realized all the people held within it were being held without trial or counsel, which was against their human rights. Spider-Man would join the side of Captain America and would pledge on live television to fight against the act. Eventually, someone from Atlantis would come to America on a peace mission, and they were backed by Europe, but they would be the target of an assassination attempt by Norman Osborn with nothing but a handgun. The ambassador would make it back into the ocean safely, guided by his people, and Osborn would claim that he was framed. He would claim that he was being controlled by the nanites in his body. Now at this point it is worth mentioning that no one has talked about how the act applies to non-American superheroes in America. What about foreign superheroes? They shouldn't be expected to register, they're not American citizens. So with people like Storm and Black Panther being expected to register, this could very easily cause the war to spill out of America and become an international war. The media at this point was more conflicted than ever. You had newscasters that were strongly against the act, now kind of wavering. You had people that were thinking up conspiracy theories and talking about them on TV. It was insane. The Punisher would then make his way through the Baxter Building to steal the plans for Prison 42, and Sue Storm would go to Atlantis in hopes that Namor would join the Secret Avengers. He said no. Meanwhile, a few villains would go to the Secret Avengers base in hopes of joining Captain America's team, and the Punisher would kill them, which would cause Captain America to have to kick the Punisher off of the Secret Avengers. The Secret Avengers would then go to Prison 42, where they would encounter the pro-registration forces, and it would be revealed that both teams had a spy on them. Hulkling would then release all the anti-registration heroes from imprisonment. He was a spy on the pro-registration side for the anti-registration side this whole time. Cloak would then teleport this final battle to the middle of New York, and Namor would turn up with a whole army of Atlanteans. Vision would then disable Iron Man's armor, thus allowing Captain America to take him down with ease. You also had Reed Richards being shot while trying to protect his wife, even though the two of them were on opposite sides of the war. The city would essentially be destroyed in this battle, and it's only thanks to the efforts of Thing, who returned from Paris, that no civilians were hurt. But Captain America realizes, looking at Iron Man on the ground, about to have the final hit at him, that all this fighting is just hurting civilians. It's not protecting anyone. The heroes are hurting the very people that they promised to protect. And if that's happening, what's the point in this war? Captain America surrenders the war. Most of the Secret Avengers were given amnesty by the government, and Captain America would be put in jail. The end of the Civil War would be officially marked when Captain America was shot by Crossbones and Sharon Carter. I love this storyline a lot when it first started, and there are a lot of subplots that I absolutely adore. Like, I love the whole thing with Arachne and Carol Danvers, and how Arachne's actually a single parent. That's probably my favorite storyline in the whole thing. Because of how many subplots were going on, there are a number of things that we can learn as a society from this storyline, from this whole event. There are things like the battle of financial security versus being free to be a crazy artist. There is obviously the 9/11 commentary. There is the minority rights commentary. Just an endless list of meanings. I would love to do a video sometime where I really just dissect this storyline with a couple of other YouTube comic book personalities. I don't know any of them personally, but if I ever get to meet any of them personally, that is the video I would want to make. It's definitely not my favorite Marvel event. I would have liked it more if it had bigger repercussions at the end. It felt like they got halfway through and then realized, oh, this will change everything. Quick, undo, undo, undo. That being said, it's nice to have an event that doesn't change the whole universe. I mean, Marvel has a yearly big event thing, so they can't do a universe-changing thing every year. Still, I like reading it now and again, especially the Young Avengers Runaway storyline, because that one was just a lot of fun. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. If you think I forgot anything majorly important about the Civil War, please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more history videos. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking out my Patreon so I can make bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.